This is a story that really has just taken everybody's breath away. The shocking case of those two 12-year-old Wisconsin girls accused of luring a friend into the woods, trying to kill her. Well, this morning we're hearing the 911 call from the man who found her, saving her life. ABC's Ryan Smith is here with much more on all this. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning, Robin. The Waukesha County DA said he'd never seen allegations like these before. And with new details emerging about the suspects in this case, we're learning more about the man whose quick thinking helped save the child's life.
She says she's having trouble breathing. She said she was stabbed multiple times.
This morning, a newly released 911 call shows how a passerby helped save the life of a 12-year-old on the morning two friends allegedly stabbed her 19 times.
She's laying on the grass.
The pair allegedly lured their victim into the woods and left her for dead. A passing bicyclist spotted the bleeding girl after she crawled out of the woods.
Is there any bleeding going on?
Her clothing has got blood on it.
The Good Samaritan calmly reassuring her while waiting for help to arrive.
There's a squad car coming now.
If these allegations are true, this was plotted and schemed for some time, and it's a very, very brutal act.
New details now emerging about the possible motive behind the stabbing. According to court documents, Morgan Geyser and Anissa Wire, charged as adults with attempted first-degree intentional homicide, believed they would become agents for a fictional internet character named Slender Man by killing their friend, and then could walk to his proverbial mansion. According to the criminal complaint, Wire, believing in the fantasy so deeply and thinking she would never go home, she packed a picture of her family in her backpack so she wouldn't forget them. And when describing the attempted killing to police, she said, quote, "The bad part of me wanted her to die. The good part of me wanted her to live." Geyser's lawyer says his client may have mental health issues and shouldn't be tried as an adult.
To say it's every parent's worst nightmare is a cliche, but it is. It's the worst nightmare they could ever be dealing with.
While leaving court Monday, Geyser's family breaking down and this morning speaking out, saying in a statement, quote, "We wish to express our deepest sympathies and extend our heartfelt prayers to the victim and her family," but adding, quote, "We have been overwhelmed with anguish." In Wisconsin, attempted homicide charges must be filed in adult court if the suspects are at least 10. And Geyser's lawyer hopes to move the case to juvenile court, where the harshest punishment is confinement until age 25. But if they're tried as adults and convicted, they could each face 65 years behind bars. Robin?
Ryan, thank you. And ABC's Chief Legal Affairs anchor Dan Abrams is going to pick it up from what Ryan was just saying right there. What is the possible defense here?
Well, look, the first thing they want to do is try and move this to juvenile court. I mean, that is just an enormous difference between being in adult court and juvenile court. And the legal standard to move it to juvenile court is sort of squishy, meaning it's kind of up to the judge to decide, is this case more appropriate to be in a juvenile court than an adult court. But as Ryan points out, it's very interesting that in the state of Wisconsin, if you're at least 10 and you're charged with murder or attempted murder, as is the case here, you're presumed to be in adult court. So now it is the burden is on the children, on the two 12-year-olds, to prove that this case ought to be in juvenile court. That's going to be the first and probably the biggest legal fight in this case.
It's going to be a fight, as you said right there.
Yeah.
The fact that they claim that they were trying to please a fictional character, how will that play in?
Well, look, we could certainly see an insanity defense, particularly if this stays in adult court. In the state of Wisconsin, the standard is, do you appreciate the criminality of what you did? And you could see the defense attorneys not just talking about what was going on in their minds, but how old they were. And this is where their age could actually be used to their advantage, even in an adult court, by saying the legal standard is, did they appreciate the criminality? Well, no, and certainly no, because they were just 12 years old. So you could see a possible insanity defense here.
And we've also heard from one of the lawyers saying that he believes that his client is not competent, that may be mental issues here.
That's right, separate issue, right? Because insanity relates to the question of what was your mindset at the time of the crime. Whether you're competent to stand trial means today, right now, are you able to, for example, assist in your defense? That would be a separate sort of proceeding to determine, can we even move forward? But it's very unlikely, I think, that a judge would say that they're not competent to stand trial.
Well, thankfully, she is recovering, and that 911 call, that gentleman who made that call.
This whole story is so heartbreaking.
Yeah, all right. Thanks so much.